What's up, guys? In this video, I'm going to be explaining why calories are bullshit and why quality matters way over quantity and why your hormones matter more than anything when it comes to being healthy, getting in shape, losing fat, adding muscle, and looking like a Greek aesthetic god. And in this video, this is pure education. This is no dopamine. This isn't funny. This isn't some bullshit reaction video. This is pure education. So if you actually want to get jacked, you actually want to get high testosterone, you actually want to get shredded, get your notepad out. Actually pay attention, because in these 20 to 30 minutes, you will gain pure value that you can instantly apply in your life every fucking day if you actually fucking apply it. So if you want to get shredded, watch the full video. I'm going to break down how some of my clients got jacked and lost fat while eating in a calorie surplus, hence therefore calories are bullshit, and how some of my clients, felt and looked after implementing some of these techniques and strategies and knowledge that I'm going to explain and lay out to you very, very simply and concisely. And also, if you are looking for one-on-one coaching with custom meal plans, custom training plans, custom routines, access to myself to ensure that you get jacked and high tested shredded very fucking quickly, book a call with me in the link in the description of this video, and I guarantee I'll help get you right. But without further ado, let's dive into it. What's going on, guys? So in this video, I'm going to be covering why calories don't matter and why they're not real and why quality over quantity will win every day of the week when it comes to losing weight and getting shredded. I know a lot of you guys are into fitness if you're watching this video, so you want to look aesthetic, you want to get big, you want to get lean, I'm assuming, if you're sane, and you may not be in the spot you want to be in. Because the thing is, you're listening to the mainstream fitness advice where calories are the only thing that matters, quality doesn't matter, and all calories are created equal, which is a total lie. Because in this case study here, I was eating the same amount of calories in a calorie surplus. I was eating 4,000 calories a day, and when I was eating processed foods, I ended up like this. And when I was eating whole foods only, I ended up like this. So basically, when I was over here, I was eating this type of shit, and then when I was over here, I was eating this type of shit with the same exact amount of calories. And you guys may be confused. Oh, the doctors, have come up with this. It's real. It's true. But the thing is, you have to understand that you should never lose your abs when bulking and that calories aren't real. Because the thing is, when your testosterone is high, you can still stay lean. When my testosterone's low, I'm going to have love handles, man tits, be skinny fat like a woman. But when your testosterone's high, you can still be in a surplus and have abs, just like how Chris Bumstead does when he bulks. He's in a massive 1,000 calorie surplus with abs still. But the thing is, he injects testosterone and I don't, because my testosterone's up naturally through biohacking, through testosterone optimization, through lifestyle. And when you take steroids, obviously you can get away with it. But the thing is, this is the example. Like, his test is like insanely high because he's synthetically injecting it. But when you get it up naturally, you can still stay lean. Like my clients who literally gained 10 pounds and got leaner, up 10 pounds and got leaner, same weight, and is like 220. So he's a massive ass big boy. It's like these guys are eating whole foods only, and they're eating in 500 to 1,000 calorie surpluses, guys. So I'm going to explain how we got them these transformations and how I saw this transformation, and I'm going to explain how to do it if you want to get jacked, you want to get lean, but you don't want to get fat. And a lot of you guys have probably tried bulking, and you've probably failed if you've been eating, protein shakes, protein bars, synthetic protein. And you have to think for yourself. I mean, do you really think some soy milk with 10 ingredients processed in a factory is the same as just milk coming straight out of a cow right into this jug? No, it's totally different. You think eggs that haven't been processed at all versus like synthetic eggs, like with 20 ingredients made in the factory, is the same? Do you think your body actually absorbs that the same exact way? Hell no. So I'm going to be showing you how I took 3 of my clients from being like skinny fat to swole in 90 days. So basically, before joining the program, Weston's training was messed up a lot. He was doing high intensity cardio. He was training for the track team. He was on track in college, and he's in college right now. And he was doing high intensity training, not as much strength training, a lot of explosive stuff, a lot of jogging to get his cardio right. But the thing is, when you're trying to look aesthetic and be healthy and have lots of muscle, that's not the way to do it. You need to be doing a mix of bodybuilding / strength training. And a lot of guys think they can do push-ups and sled pushes and jumping jacks, and they think they can get jacked No, you need to be lifting heavy weight and switching it up month by month. And then for Connor, he was basically just winging his workouts, going 4 to 5 days a week. He was drinking on the weekends, not tracking his lifts, ego lifting, just going heavy. And he wasn't really growing that much because he wasn't in a set regimen that would be designed to make him add muscle and add strength at the same time. When you're not tracking with no structure, it's going to be hard to really make sure that you're going up in your lifts and that you're gaining mass every single week. And then with Tyler, he was kind of just like a gym newbie. 2-3 days a week, he would just go in, hit chest, hit arms, hit back, but he didn't have any structure, wasn't tracking, and was never really like a real advanced lifter. But it's crazy how that in 3 months, these guys all look crazy different. And going on to Weston's diet, he was eating a lot of beef and eggs, and he was eating animal-based, but his biggest pitfall was that he was just eating cheat meals and snacks all the time to bulk up. His coach was like, his old coach, or his coach for his team was like, oh, you got to bulk up. You just got to freaking, eat as much food as possible, just get in calories in, calories out. And he was eating the goldfish and the snacks with cheat meals, and he literally just got fat. And by the way, all these guys' goals was to get bigger and leaner at the same time. I forgot to mention that. They all want to get bigger and leaner, bigger and leaner, bigger and leaner. And that's what they did on my program. But they had been trying on their own in the past, and they didn't really see any results. And then for Connor's diet, he was eating shit. Mass gainer, protein shakes, chicken and turkey, trying to dirty bulk. And he really was struggling because he's a skinnier, taller guy. And he was really struggling because his test was low, kind of has a little bit of love handles and man tits. But now, after locking in with the test maxing method, he looks like a Greek god because he stopped having meat, seed oils and pesticides, sucralose and mass gainer and protein shakes, corn and soy fed chicken and turkey, which is basically inflammatory when they eat lots of corn and soy. And that was just making him fat. And then for Tyler, he was eating grass-fed bison. He was watching my videos for a little bit before joining the program, and he was implementing some of the whole food stuff, but then he was also eating pizza twice a week, burgers, half and half, good and bad. And that's how people get fat in America, guys. Doctors will tell you that red meat and eggs are bad because the average American eats lots of bullshit food. The average American will eat a lot of this stuff, but then when they throw in more beef and eggs, that just clogs their arteries. Because if you eat this shit, you are inflamed, you are fatter, and your arteries are already getting clogged. But when you add on more saturated fat, it just clogs the arteries even more. Because the studies are just average Americans who eat bullshit food and drink, then they add more beef and eggs and they get fatter and they get worse off. So the thing is with this diet is that you have to be 100% strict, and then your arteries won't be clogged. Everything will go how it's supposed to be, and you will get jacked and shredded and be insanely healthy. But when you mix in seed oils, corn syrup, alcohol, that is when you get fat. And there's no studies ever, besides my clients and myself, where there's no studies of having people eat perfectly clean with whole foods only with 0 cheat meals. But that's what happens when my clients dial in completely. And then their situation basically was that, they had low energy, excess fat, low confidence, low test, was not seeing gains. And he was frustrated because he had tried a bunch of things. He was on like some sort of TRT before and it wasn't really working and he wasn't feeling good and he wanted to find a natural solution and it was really frustrating. He was literally trying to test max before the program looking like this. With Connor, he was, smoking weed a lot, drinking a lot, but when he joined the program, we cut that out completely, and that's a huge win for him because now he's never going to do it ever again. And guys, if you want to be healthy and live long, you have to cut out weed and alcohol completely. I know it's a sacrifice, but when you're 90 on your deathbed, you will be thanking yourself that you did not destroy your body because your body does not last forever, guys. Everyone dies, so you're going to look back and be like, damn, I'm glad I cut out the alcohol and weed because that shit will destroy your brain, destroy your body. And yeah, he needed a coach. He needed accountability because he was slacking off the cheat meals and hanging out with bad friends and he had no structure and was just wing shit. And then Tyler just kind of needed a basic overall blueprint of how to lift, how to eat, how to train. And we just got him, he was smoking weed a lot, like every day, and we cut that out as well. These are 2 great things. The weed and alcohol and the weed for these 2 guys made a massive difference because weed kind of destroys your mindset. It makes you lazy and makes you more susceptible to cheat meals. Like when you smoke weed, it's like, oh, I'm lazy, I'm tired, I just want dopamine. I'm more susceptible to skip the gym and have cheat meals. And once we cut out the weed, it just made them way higher test and fixed their mindset, honestly. But the main 2 things that really happened from cutting out the diet and switching up the training to animal-based diet and, high test training was that we optimized their metabolism and testosterone, which are the 2 things that will allow you to really max out the gains. So basically when your metabolism is fast, you just burn calories easier and you just will stay shredded. You just use fat all the time, and instead of holding fat, you just use it, and that means like it gives you high energy, makes you feel good, makes you look good, and it just uses it to add muscle and keep your fat low. Because when you're eating high quality foods all the time, why would you add fat? If you're eating the best high protein, no processed food, like why would you ever get fat? It makes no sense. And then when your testosterone's high, it enhances muscle, increases your BMR, turns fat to fuel. I mean, that's why Chris Bumstead looks like this, even though he's eating a bullshit diet half the time. He's still lean because he has high testosterone. But the thing is, when we get it up naturally through doing certain things, you can be natural and still get lean. So basically, your stress will be low. If you guys know about cortisol, cortisol makes you hold on to fat and slows your metabolism. And this is caused by stress, by chemicals, by low testosterone, all these things. And then, insulin sensitivity, when you eat whole foods only, like whole food sugar, it speeds up your metabolism. But when you eat processed sugar, it destroys your insulin. And that's how people get diabetes. Basically, when you just spam snacks all day, it just keeps your insulin high. And then that's not how humans are supposed to be. And your body doesn't know what to do. So it keeps it high all day. And then you just never burn fat and you get fat as fuck. That's what diabetes is, basically. So how do these things go hand in hand? The more muscle you have, the faster your metabolism is. So basically, when you get your testosterone up from the whole foods, from the diet, from the training, it speeds up your metabolism and it makes you add muscle and lose fat. Because the more muscle you have from high testosterone, the faster your metabolism will be. And when your metabolism's faster, you lose fat. And they just go hand in hand. So it's a cycle of, being jacked and shredded, but you need to keep the diet perfect, guys. I know you're fucking up the diet. I know you are fucking up the diet and you're slacking if you are not shredded and jacked. And next, when your test is high, you basically will keep your blood sugar lower and you will be in a fat burning mode. Your dopamine is going to be higher, which is going to make your motivation higher. And it just is a cycle of loving the gym, loving clean food, loving getting shredded, loving getting a high test, loving feeling good. And then you just keep doing this forever and ever, and your hormones will be right, and you also live extremely long. So basically, a fast metabolism equals more calories burnt, higher testosterone, builds muscle, burns fat. And then when you get more muscle, it keeps your metabolism fast, and then your hormones are right. So this is literally the best thing. This is how humans are meant to live long, feel good, and look good. But it all gets messed up when we go back to eating the processed food that humans have created versus the foods that God created for us. So basically, I'm going to dive in now into how we actually improved the metabolism and testosterone of Tyler, Weston, and Connor. So the first thing that I had them do is that we started with the diet. You have to eat for your metabolism and your hormones, not a calorie counter. Obviously, we're getting in enough calories, roughly, but we're getting in a shit ton of protein, getting a lot of saturated fat, which boosts your testosterone. We cut out the bullshit that they were eating, the pizza, the protein shakes, the protein bars, all these things that were artificial, the sucralose in the mass gainer, the acetyls in the goldfish, all these things, they drive inflammation, mess up your insulin because they're cheap carbs, and then they lower your testosterone. And then we also made sure that we had him get in electrolytes and sea salt to make sure that your thyroid's working, that you're hydrated, and that you are feeling and looking good. Then, after we dialed in their diets, I made sure that they were lifting heavy for strength training, and then we had them focus on bodybuilding. So we made sure that they're going heavier every single week, especially because they're in a calorie surplus. You should be going heavier every single week. You're gaining more muscle. You're in a calorie surplus. That's when you grow the most amount of muscle. 3 to 5 strength sessions, and then had them do sprints, but no jogging. This is what people mess up. They do jogging. They do long jumping jacks, push-up circuits at 45, and that is what raises your cortisol and lowers your test. Guys, humans, warriors marched and then they fought in battles, aka they sprinted. They never were jogging over long periods of time. That is a bullshit story. Marathon, when that one guy jogged for that long amount of time, that he died. He literally died. That guy who ran marathon the first time. So basically, if you run marathons, you're going to shorten your lifespan. You're going to die. That's actually a good video idea. I should write that down in my notes. Anyway, when you lift heavy, your GH spikes, your test spikes, which allows you to build more muscle and spikes your metabolism. So you should be taking notes, guys. If you're not right now, because you will get shredded in high test, just like myself and my other clients, if you actually apply this shit. Then they were also messing up their sleep. So sleep is one of the most important things that, factors when it comes to optimizing your hormones. Like, you got to make sure your sleep's dialed. But, we made sure that they were getting sunlight first thing in the morning. This sets your circadian rhythm. When you get light in your eyes first thing in the morning, 10 minutes of waking. And then we had them wear blue light glasses and made sure they weren't on screens 1 to 2 hours before sleeping. And we had no synthetic melatonin. Guys, you have to produce your melatonin naturally. When you take synthetic melatonin, it actually makes your REM sleep worse, even though you fall asleep. And then, of course, 7 to 9 hours of sleep consistently. When you guys get random ass sleep, it destroys your gains and destroys your momentum. When you just, one night 6 hours, one night 10 hours, guys, that is terrible. And obviously, you want to be perfectly dark, perfectly cold, and silent, because when you're cold, you get deeper sleep. When it's dark and there's no blue light, you get deeper REM sleep. And then when it's quiet, obviously, you're not going to wake up. So the more REM sleep and deep sleep you have, the more tests you will produce, which will allow you to get the metabolism right, the gains, and it all goes hand in hand, guys. And then next, we just had them focus on lowering their cortisol, because a lot of you guys are stressed out with school, with work, with your day-to-day life. And basically, stress makes you think it's in survival mode, which lowers your hormones and stores fat. It basically puts you in low power mode. Like your iPhone, it starts glitching when you put it in low power mode, but it lasts longer. It's like the same thing. Like, your bodily functions don't work. You feel like you're in low energy, but you are saving energy technically. So we had them do cold showers and ice baths before working out. That has been shown in a Japanese study to boost your testosterone. Making sure they're breathing properly, sunlight, walks, time off screens, designated times during the day to not be on a screen. No caffeine past noon, because if you have caffeine past noon, it is shown to give you less sleep, which is going to mess everything up, as I said. And then, we had them take magnesium at first, but then eventually we just had them eat whole foods. Electrolytes, we just had, fruit and salt. No electrolyte powders. Those are bullshit. And then some of my clients take magnesium, but it's ideal to get it from either Celtic sea salt or fruits with magnesium, like avocados. Then after that, we had them detox from any endocrine disruptors, which mess with a lot of average guys who aren't into this shit. So there's plastics everywhere. Plastic containers, plastic water bottles. In tap water, there's microplastics as well. And there's chemicals like, pesticides in tap water. There's heavy metals in tap water. There's estrogens in tap water. So we had them make sure that they were consuming, reverse osmosis or spring water in glass, water filter. And then we had them avoid, obviously, seed oil, soy, BPAs, and these are in soaps, conditioners, shampoos, air fresheners, and we just had them focus on really cutting out all these little things that disrupt your hormones. Because guys, you may think, if I'm inhaling toxic detergent, endocrine disruptor detergent on my clothes, it doesn't really matter if I smell it. Bro, if you smell it, you are inhaling it. And if you are inhaling it every day, every year for your entire life, you don't think that builds up? It definitely builds up and definitely adds up. So if you want to really max out our life, our lifespans, our hormones, our health, you really have to make sure you're not getting in any of this shit. And if you don't believe me, listen to what Tyler has to say about the program.
So you think you want to keep walking to what, like 160, 170?
Yeah.
Okay. Because your body fat is still like lower than when you started. That's the thing. You're up like fucking 15 pounds, but you look leaner than that. That first picture, you have like a little beer belly.
No, I had a fat beer belly, dog. Yeah, I looked terrible.
And now look at you now, bro.
Bro, it's insane. It's insane. Your program definitely works. And, you're definitely smart and, know what you're doing and know what you're talking about. And, yeah, it's crazy because I'm gaining weight. It's going up.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, in 3 months, bro. That's like no time. That's the thing.
Yeah, that's insane. Most people don't go up in, 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
And now that you've heard what Tyler's had to say, listen to Weston.
Yeah, I mean, how do you feel after 3 months of being on this thing? How do you feel?
I feel really good. It definitely helped some medical things and improved the physique a lot, and I feel really good during workouts. So I'm really happy I did it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, what made you want to start the first call? I forget. You said you weren't feeling good, or you were just inconsistent. What was the main thing?
Yeah, I mean, it was a little bit of everything, but I just felt like I wasn't maximizing my workouts. And I mean, I was 21, 22 at the time, and like I should I should be in the peak shape of my life. I shouldn't be struggling during workouts. And so
Mhm.
uh, I'd been following you guys for a while, saw your content, and I was like, all right, I'll go ahead and reach out, and I'm glad I
Mhm.
did.
Mhm. Yeah. And it was like mainly the diet, right? Like you were eating like
Mhm.
goldfish and like snacks, wasn't it? Like the diet that was the biggest thing.
Yeah, like I was still eating a lot of red meat, but it was just little things with it, like maybe I'd eat like chips and tortilla tacos or something like that, or yeah, I'd eat goldfish a lot, and so that was definitely killing the progress, and so
Mhm.
I need to lock it in a little bit.
Mhm. Yeah. So like you were
Hmm.
just kind of eating like randomly, like with no structure,
Hmm.
like a set plan, or just kind of like eating when you were hungry, like when it was convenient, kind of.
Yeah, and I didn't like track anything, so I didn't know like maintenance calories, and I didn't know where I was at with that.
Mhm. Yeah. Were you like unsure about starting? I remember like you didn't sign up on the first call. You were like you had to like get back to me with like what you wanted to do, but like were you like unsure like before like starting this, or how were you feeling?
I was pretty confident that this was the way to go. I just had to make sure. Um,
Mm.
but yeah, I think it was like kind of I was just a little hesitant because almost I don't want to say like scared of it, but I was not looking forward to the discipline it was going to take. And but once you get past like the first 10 to 14 days, it gets a lot easier.
Mhm. Yeah, exactly. It's just like breaking that addiction. It's like how I always say like processed sugar's addicting,
Hmm.
nicotine's addicting. Like once, obviously it's painful when you're like quitting the addiction, but then once you are off of it, like you don't really miss it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Mhm. So like how do you feel compared to back then? Like do you feel any different like with your energy and like, any other ways? Like do you feel any differences?
Yeah, I mean, it just feels like I don't want to say my 100% is better. It's just more of that I feel 100% all the time.
Mhm.
And so that's really what it was about. And it's just it's made a world's difference when I'm working out. Like you feel like you can keep pushing even when you're tired. It doesn't feel like you're instantly out of energy. And you also feel more focused during it. And so I feel like if you have an intention to get better when you're working out, then you're actually going to get better versus just going through the motion.
Mhm. Yeah, so you feel like kind of before you had like low energy during the workouts?
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Mm. Yeah. Like, so how long did it take to like for you to notice the first bit of results? Like when you start noticing, like, damn, I'm starting to like feel a difference here.
I would say I'd noticed the first difference in about 2 weeks, but like from appearance wise, but I think feeling wise, it took maybe 7 days. It was just instantly that you felt better during your workouts.
Uh huh. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. And how did your strength go up like a bunch? Like what was the workout that like the strength went up in the most? Do you feel like?
For me, it was probably like deadlift, maybe like some accessory things like uh it's like rear leg elevated lunges and stuff like that.
Hmm.
Um, so definitely the legs because that's what we train a lot, and so that increased the most.
Hmm. For sure.
Yeah,
Did any of like your friends or family like notice any changes from you, like getting more like lean and toned?
yeah, yeah. I had some family members being like, what are you doing? Like, what do I need to do? And it's like,
Really?
well, yeah, I mean, I'd tell you, but you're not gonna believe me if I said you need to eat a bunch of red meat, and they'll think I'm gonna give myself a heart attack. So
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean,
yeah.
you could definitely put them on eventually. You just got to keep trying to.
Hmm.
You could definitely put them on. Just got to slowly ease them into it. But
Yeah, for sure.
yeah, I
Mhm.
mean, do you think there are any other like mindset shifts that happened, like since you joined? Because obviously you said like the first part was definitely hard. Like you weren't sure, you didn't want to be that disciplined. But like, do you think your mindset's changed at all since starting?
Yeah, I think the thing that slowed me down was sometimes I was like, in the beginning, I was still eating everything and being really disciplined, but sometimes like my stomach was still hurting and I was just having little issues. And so that slowed me down. It's like, well, I feel better in this way, but I feel worse in this way. And so I had to like, is it worth it? But then I just stuck with it, and eventually it all just got better. And so it was worth it.
Mm-hmm. For sure. And
Mhm.
do you feel like you have a different relationship with food now since starting this?
Yeah. It's just nice because I don't really have to worry about eating throughout the day as much because I was trying to always put on like mass because my coaches wanted that, but
Mm.
I don't have to worry about that now because I eat like one or two really solid meals and then just a bunch of fruit and raw milk in between, and it just I don't know, evens out. I don't have to worry about, oh man, I need to go get this snack before I work out or whatever. Like I always have good energy in me.
Mm-hmm. 100%. And do you feel like there are any habits that change besides maybe like just the diet, or like, I mean, obviously we had you do a lot more walking. Like, were you walking before as much or no?
No, I was never really walking. I'm walking a good bit now, and
Mm-hmm.
like putting like the shower filter on like that was nice for my skin,
Mm-hmm.
and then probably just putting those glasses on before bed if I need to be on my screen at all. I just wear those glasses, and I usually get better sleep quality.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's awesome, bro. Yeah,
Hmm.
you really took advantage of everything, and you definitely put in the work, bro. You
Yeah,
definitely did.
appreciate it.
Yeah, yeah. Do you feel like your lifestyle's different now? Like, are you gonna continue this into the future? You feel like you feel like besides obviously your body has changed, but like, is your lifestyle kind of different since starting? You feel like?
Yeah, it's different. And it's like it's just a better different. And now that it's kind of like sitting in first class for the first time on a plane. Like once you feel the best, it's like, man, I want to stay the best. I don't want to just go back to coach. So I'll probably just continue this just because like I don't want to go back to the old way because I just feel so much worse.
Mm-hmm. 100%.
Yeah,
Yeah, got to keep it going in the future, bro.
for sure.
You're killing it. But yeah, I mean, do you feel like overall you're glad you did this and you feel like it was worth it?
Oh yeah, 100%. Uh, uh, I think. I mean, I don't know how you don't have like 10,000 clients at this point. Like everyone needs to be doing this.
Mm-hmm. Damn,
You
bro.
know?
Thanks, bro.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you put in the work. And I mean, 3 months isn't even that long of a time, but like if you continue to do this, I know you're gonna get like if you continue like lifting hard, even when sports are over, like you start lifting like strength training, like the workouts I kind of gave you, like purely
Mhm.
with sprints, walking, like you're gonna get freaking shredded and jacked as hell. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh. Yeah. Well, I appreciate it a lot. This was a game changer for sure.
Hmm. Of course, bro. I'm glad to
Yeah.
see you win, and I'm glad you put in the work. But do you feel like there's any last like major questions? I mean, I feel like you basically have all the knowledge at this point. Like, is there any other like questions or anything?
No, man, I think you kind of laid out everything that I need. And at very worst, if I do have questions, I know kind of where to look to find answers now. So
Mhm.
that's even better.
Yeah, 100%. If you ever want to reach out again too in the future, like 100%, always shoot me a text. But don't feel scared if any little
Mhm.
question or something. Just shoot me a text. I know you know you didn't ask too many questions during this, but you
Mhm.
just put in the work and we're consistent, and that's what it's about, bro. So
Yeah, appreciate it. I mean, if I ever start going down a bad path again, I know who to reach out to, and we can run it back.
yes, sir, bro. Yes, sir. Hopefully that doesn't happen, but
Yeah,
yeah, keep the foot on the gas. Keep the foot on the gas for sure.
for sure. Appreciate it, man.
Of course, bro. Well, it's good talking to you. Good getting to know you, bro. And as I said, always feel free to reach out in the future. But I don't really have anything else for you. So,
Yeah, yeah, me neither. Appreciate it.
of course, bro. Well, I'll let you go. And
Hmm.
yeah, man, just keep grinding, and hopefully, I'm sure I'll text you in the future at some point. So, good luck with everything. Good luck with school, and everything in the future.
Yeah, appreciate it. Be in touch sometime.
Yes, sir. All right, bro. I'll see you later.
All right, see ya.
Peace.
So, guys, you just heard it from my boy Weston. He got jacked, added muscle, and lost fat on the program. And if you want to see similar results to Weston, to Tyler, to Connor, feel free to book a call with me in the link in the description of this video for my one-on-one coaching, where I guarantee if you're down to put in the work, you're down to make sacrifices, you're down to lock in, you can get jacked and shredded 1000% guaranteed, or you get your money back. If you log every meal, you do every workout, you show up to every call, you'll get your money back if you don't get shredded. I guarantee it. But guys, that's it for this video. I will see you in the next one. Comment what you want to see next. Comment if you disagree with me or you agree with me or what you want to see or whatever. But like and subscribe. Peace out, boys.